So, hi everyone. I am Nesma Salilin, first year PE Ed. The topic that I choose to discuss is about the women as victims of Spaniard colonization. So, the women of pre-Hispanic era were given importance. They could even hold high characters in communities like healers, priestesses, and they could even handle leadership roles and fight as warriors. As part of the line for the here and here says of Adatu, his daughter could be one of the choices. Men and women were treated equally. They had equal rights. Women had the right to inherit property and they also had an important part in business and trading. They would weave and do pottery and make jewelry to be used in exchanging in the market in other tribes and other foreign traders like the Chinese. They controlled the operation of transactions because their husbands were not allowed to barter unless their wives approved. So, during the prehistoric era, both genders are treated equally. Woman has a big part of the whole community. Each of them has different role, which was giving acknowledgement by the people. Next is the Babaylan or the healer was usually a woman, and when an occasion arises that a man would take this role, he needs to dress up as a woman. They were looked up to because of their wisdom and knowledge. When problems in communities arise and there are no other means to fix it, Babaylan is the one to be called. She would perform ritual and chants to drive away the spirits that cause turmoil. Also, during the pre-colonial period, one of the first few things a man would learn is that he should always respect women. Disrespecting women was unthinkable. If a man does not show respect to a woman, he would be labeled negatively by the society. In the Ifuga region, women had the right to divorce their husbands, may it be because of infidelity, infidelity infertility, or the pause in unable to provide for the family. Filipino women had the power to decide for themselves. They controlled how they live. They enjoyed equal status with men. Were known for their wisdom and knowledge and enjoyable the privilege of human rights. So, Babylon is a famous mystic, mystical healers whose spiritual connectedness was a source of political and social power. The Babylon women serve as intermediaries between spiritual and material worlds in their community. The glorious years of the woman were destroyed when the Spanish arrived during the 16th century. They brought with them their own idea of how a woman is and where she is supposed to be placed in society. From men from man and woman being equal, women were turned into object and suppression. By this time, education in the Philippines had been altered and was based on Catholicism. Priests stood as the educators. Spaniards had occupied a large amount of land, thus erecting schools, universities, and seminaries. It was not a problem until it led to the spread of the Catholic ideology and the conversion of many Filipinos. During this period, good education and the opportunity to go prestigious schools were more prioritized to be available for men. Also, some women were able to attend some vocational school. Most were not given an opportunity to an education because the church and the government believed that women should only stay at home. Thus, the role of woman became attached to the home Her duty was to become an obedient and respectful daughter, a good wife and mother. Everything was changed when Spanish colonized our country. Opportunities was not given fairly to women because Spaniards think that woman has no capabilities and the only thing they must do is to stay at their homes and serve to their husband or their family. The ideal woman for the Spaniard is someone who is overly religious, submissive, and obedient. Yes, the typical Maria Clara, that mahinhing dalaga stereotype, was brought to us by the Spaniards. Women can no longer loiter around, run along the meadows, and swim in river or climb trees as children. The real Filipina was replaced by the ideal woman dictated by the Spaniards. During the Spanish occupation, the woman the woman being subordinate was installed, men rising as the dominant gender, establishing a patriarchal society that has prevailed and surpassed generations and is now the prevalent type of society that we follow. The Philippines was controlled by Spaniard and the Catholic Church. Women were no longer allowed to hold high positions and participate in political activities. She was even snatched on her right to express her thoughts, being instructed to stay within the shadow with her lips sealed. So the standards for the Spaniard and their ideal woman was like a soft girl, conservative, respectful, and religious. As the Spaniards tried to reduce in importance the role of the woman, the fury and passion that runs in the Filipino blood would never allow this to happen. Pride and honor was definitely worth fighting for, and some women repudiated the Spaniards' way and concept of treating women. So as the Spaniard continued to underestimate women, Filipino did not allow them to do it and found a way to end this. Gabriela Silang and Gregoria de Jesus were some of promi- prominent Filipina icons of the revolution. Gabriela Silang took over the rebellion in Ilocos when her husband Diego Silang died. She fought for freedom from the Spaniard until she was captured and beheaded on September 20, 1763 in Vigan, Ilocos Sur. And Gregoria de Jesus fought alongside her husband Andres Bonifacio as a member of the Katipunan. She was degraded as the most as the ma- she was re- regarded as the mother of Philippine Revolution. She was also the first Filipina that was able to decipher the code of the Katipunan. So, one of those who fought for freedom were Gabriela Silang and Gregoria de Jesus. They shown to Spaniard that they are not just for household but could also do a lot of things that men can't do. The freedom of women was suppressed because the Spaniard realized that women in the Philippines were very important and was regarded highly and that fact scared them. It was different from what they were used to, coming from the land where patriarchy ruled and men were the strongest one. The Filipina was enslaved when the Spaniards came, along with the country where she lived in. So, after what they did, uh, eventually colonizers realized uh, that they are also important part of the community. The mindset was changed that man is stronger than woman. So that's all about the woman as victim of Spaniard colonization. So this is the Philippine history song, and additional my thought about of the new trend today. So nowadays, social media is available to everybody who has access to the internet. People today have an almost continual urge to discuss what they are doing, images of themselves, and even what they are eating right now with their pals. Today's millennials want to quick satisfaction of being able to show off everything what they have to others. Popular social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok all add to the impact on pop cultural and the younger generations to be able to record photographs and videos with the most up to up to date cameras because customers are continually requesting more and more complex types of cameras. The camera industry is very profitable company. So that's all. Thank you for listening.